Okay, now we can go to Jamylah. Okay. Jamylah and the Giants. By Adrian Brooks Collins. Allow me to... You could draw these ducks. That's a good idea. Allow me to present to you an unusual story about an amazing little girl living in the peaceful suburb of Newark, Ohio. Here's where I too once lived, but that was some 12,000 years ago. Much has changed in all that time. Your civilization has grown up on top of what was once my own. Only a handful of the hundreds of massive stone chambers remain. Fragments of our stone tablets and artifacts are buried far beneath the surface of your vast towns and rolling farmlands. We've delighted you have thoughtfully preserved our lunar calendar, a 30-acre circle and 50-acre octagon. 3 miles from a second 30-acre circle. These were central interplanetary diagrams for planning our departures and arrivals. These undoubtedly mystifying astronomical relics span the entire city of Newark. This too would have been just another ordinary Newark day, were it not for Mistress Mishap. Tell us a cool story, please. I would love to hear one. Okay. But not for you see, Jala Lewis Cabrel was about to have an encounter so profound that it would unlimitedly change not only the course of history, but the future of the entire world. Of course, Jamylah had absolutely no idea of what was about to happen, but we knew she was a perfect little girl for the assignment because we had known her from long before her return to Earth. Who better than Jamylah herself to tell you the story? Where are my manners? My name is Jamylah, and I'll speak with you later on. Let's go now to Jamylah's house where her incomparable day began. Cute. Jamylah's 8th birthday pool party. My name is Jamylah, which means beautiful in Arabic, and today is my birthday. I'm turning 8, so we're having a really big birthday party. Back over there, as you can see, we're having a great big jumping castle, and there's music and tons of fruit and lemonade, and of course my favorite birthday cake, vanilla with strawberry filling and pink buttercream frosting, and even strawberry ice cream too. Yum! I want that for my birthday cake. On your birthday, you get to decide everything, even which game we should play. That's the rules, Kiko said. She's my best friend. Okay, I know one. Let's have a swimming contest with Brennan, Ruby, and Kelvin too. This stick. Okay, the rules are: who can swim to the bottom of the middle of the pool, not the deep end, grab the 3 colored rings at the bottom, and come up and touch the side of the pool the fastest. We all have to count, and so we did. 1, 1,000. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. My friend Ruby was clearly the fastest swimmer, and she was winning when Brendan Jerry bombed into the middle of the pool exactly at the same time I was coming up from the bottom. That's what my dad told me told me later anyway. You see, I don't remember how it all happened exactly. This is for bigger kids. Yeah. Apparently, Brendan accidentally landed on top of me and I gulped in a lot of water instead of air. Together, Daddy and Mommy jumped in the pool and Dad scooped me up into his arms, leaping back out. When my lungs had filled up with water, I went unconscious. I saw my daddy carefully lay me down on the warm concrete and roll me onto my side. A bunch of water came out of my mouth as he pushed down on my chest. Only what's funny is that I was already floating above myself, so I didn't wake up in my body. I just flew way up and up into the sky through this long sparkly rainbow tunnel toward this very bright light. I went up into a world just like this one, but even way prettier. Then, standing in front of me was this great big giant. He was even bigger than my jumping castle. He was probably 12 feet tall. He had periwinkle glowing skin, which is my favorite color. He had curly long green hair and warm orangish eyes, but he wasn't scary. I already knew that he was nice. And then he spoke to me in a great big deep voice. Oh, Jamylah, we need your help restoring our burial mounds. They've been plundered. Will you help us? Jamylah's eyes widened in surprise that the giant knew her name. Yes, I'll help you, Jamylah agreed. Only I'm busy right now because it's my birthday, so really I should get back to my party. Jamylah looked down through the rainbow tunnel and saw herself lying poolside. The giant extended his giant hand to shake Jamylah's on the agreement. We're so glad you'll help us. Only Jamylah had simply vaporized into a sparkling poof. Keeping up with myself. I watched from above my backyard as the distant sirens dropped out front and medics rushed in the side gate with a stretcher. They quickly loaded my body onto it, placed an oxygen mask. Reading to yourself? No, I'm not reading to myself. They quickly loaded my body onto it, placed an oxygen mask over my mouth and nose. Paramedics told the hospital that I didn't have an MRI on the rig. That's a brain scanner. A what? You complete me. Aw, thanks. You know what bitcoins are? Yeah. And to have one available at the hospital. Then I flew above and along with the ambulance to the hospital so I wouldn't lose track of where they put me. Once we got into the hospital examination room, I was already floating up near the ceiling while a tight-fitting hat was put over my head with lots of different colored wires coming from it. The wires were plugged into a big beeping and flashing machine. The MRI with a flat screen that monitored my brain waves. Only I wasn't in my brain and it was just showing straight lines. So I decided it was probably a good time to go back into my body. Back to watch more. Thanks for coming. Hi there, Apple Pink. Colorful. Sure is. Then my brain information popped up on the monitor and it started printing out. We have Jamylah's MRI results, Dr. Patel said to Mommy and Daddy smiling. I'm pleased to inform you that Jamylah has absolutely no brain damage. She's just as healthy as any little 8-year-old girl could be on her birthday. And let me further assure you that after a full night's rest, she'll be good as new in the morning. Breakfast and the mission. In the morning, Jamylah woke with an enthusiasm she'd never known before. The wafted aroma of cinnamon and browning butter beckoned from the kitchen. Even before Mommy came in to wake her, she zipped down the stairs in her favorite Petrusia and lavender jammies. Jamylah was on a mission. Oh, Daddy, I forgot to tell you all the excitement yesterday. We have to help the giants restore their burial grounds. They've been plundered, Jamylah announced before completely swallowing her mouthful of French toast. Let's kick it. With mixed berries and maple syrup. Is that so? Alfonso replied distractedly, wiping a bead of syrup from his precious little chin. Yes, Daddy, it is so. You see, Timur is so big, and the man showed me with his mitre so big that I knew he would need both of your big helps too, Mommy. Constance and Alfonso were mildly puzzled by the announcement. Plundered? Wait, who asked for your help? Alfonso's attention now peaked. Timur the giant, Jamylah replied enthusiastically. Oh yes, of course we'll help Timur the giant, Alfonso replied. Oh yes, sweetheart, whatever they need, we'll get it for them, Constance confirmed. Jamylah, honey, Alfonso fixed his gaze on his hyper-animated daughter. I can hardly read this. I know, it's sort of small. Just funny stream. Well, hi. Jamylah, honey. Alfonso fixed his gaze on his hyper-animated daughter. There's something I have to explain to you. Yesterday, during a swimming accident, you lost consciousness. So at that time, you were only in your imagination. At this remark, Jamylah became upset, yet he continued. So, well, I'm sorry to say this, but Timur the giant certainly wasn't real. Jamylah wasn't having any of this. No, Daddy, I wasn't imagining. Timur is real, just like you and Mommy. And I could still hear both of your faces all the way to the hospital. Astonished, Constance and Alfonso exchanged a confirming glance. You couldn't find your keys, Daddy, and then you found them in the trunk of the car, which, to Alfonso's amazement, he remembered he had. You read too fast. Oh, sorry. I'll try and read slower. He even sent messages to my brain from his with light, but his lips didn't move. He said, My name is Timur, and that's lateral. Alfonso replied, a tad mockingly. Oh, did he really? I see. Well, in that case, tell me, where exactly might these giants live? Jamylah's left arm shot straight up, her index finger pointing skyward. All the giants live up in that sky city where I was yesterday. But they used to live here in their walk on Earth just like us. A long time ago. Jamylah described their appearances. Tamar and Lucky had rainbowy skin, the color of bubbles. You know what I mean? Alfonso looked quizzically at Constance. Opalescent, iridescent, Alfonso replied. I am so ready. Let's see. Look how the car oil on the driveway looks after it rains on a balloon shell. Alfonso gently took hold of Jamylah's hand. Jamylah, honey, you're 8 years old now. And well, frankly, you're old enough to stop believing in fairy tales. Sweet Tums, the truth is, there's no such thing as giants. You see, giants were made up for fairy tales, from legends, or by writers to sell children's books. However, they never actually existed at all. Growing quite frustrated, Jamylah put down her fork and crossed her arms, lowering her chin. No, Daddy, no! She was quite upset about how obsessed her father was being. A mother's instinct said, and Constance heard herself stating, in fact, honey, you have apparently forgotten. 8 is the perfect age to help giants. Have you ever met a giant, Alsona? Alsona thought it was a silly question. Of course not. Constance smiled. I thought not. On the other hand, Jamylah has met 2 giants who introduced themselves by name. So this makes Jamylah the authority of the topic at hand. Alonso didn't quite know how to respond to this well-founded observation. Constance continued, so we are going to help Jamylah with her giants in every possible way, aren't we, honey? Swigging coffee to swallow a suddenly definite piece of French toast. Alfonso's expression was frozen before uttering, well, yes, we are. I can't believe I just seen that. Hello there, sauce. Supposed supersize. Relieved she had their support, Jamylah drank some orange juice. Jamylah drank some orange juice. And then asked, Daddy, what does plundered mean? Alfonso had a simple answer. Plundered means stolen. Well then why didn't Tamar just say stolen? Jamylah asked. Constance elaborated on Alfonso's response. Well, plundered literally means that all of the valuables of another civilization were taken without their permission from a tomb or sacred site. Jamylah now had a better understanding. Oh, I get it now. Jamylah responded, pondering whether future questions should be so readily entrusted to her father. Jamylah tried rephrasing the question to fit herself. So they found their old stuff like buried treasure and just took it without permission? Well, that's not okay. That is not okay. Oh. In fact, little Miss Wish and Violet Jammy, said Mommy, shifting her attention to Jamylah directly. As of this very afternoon, I feel like we can get out your big arts and crafts drawing with your poster paints, bundles of yarn. Then you could start working on making a giant for your show and tells. Making a giant for your show and tell at school on Tuesday. Would you like that? Time to watch. Jamylah's face lit up with excitement. "Oh yes, Mommy," Jamylah shouted as she jumped up and did a happy dance. "I would like that a whole bunch." Constance stood up and took Alfonso's hand, and they happily danced around the breakfast table, all giggly and wiggly. Wow. Let's see. Okay. Huh. Okay. Hello class, my name is Jamylah, and for my show and tell, I'm going to tell you about my new friends, the giants. Peering intently from their half-circle of chairs, 40 little pairs of eyes were fixed on Jamylah's mesmerizing replica of Tuma the giant. Giants lived on our planet a very long time ago before our grandparents died, and even before the Indians. Silence filled the room, about 12,000 years ago to be exact, and you know what? They lived right here in Newark, Ohio. Huh? Whoa! Her whispering tardigrade classmates gasped. I never knew that. Jamylah continued. These giants were very smart. They had written language on clay tablets. Oh, one sec. And they had garments made of. One sec. These giants were very smart. They had written language on clay tablets, hieroglyphs. They had garments made of woven cloth, which they decorated with the beaded pearls they harvested from oysters. This is an oyster shell. And here is a pearl which the oysters make. From a single grain of sand that gets caught in their shell, they also make copper swords and copper breastplates and shields, and even copper crowns. Pennies are made from copper. Giants had great big heads. Their skulls could fit over the head of even my dad Alfonso. And as you can see here, they had... One sec. What do you call a careful wolf? A werewolf. Ah. I messed up a little because if you've ever tried it, 64 teeth are very hard to make stand up straight. Even my mom helped me make some of them too. Jamylah then smiled broadly, pointing to her own mouth. We humans have 32 teeth. The giants had twice as much, 64. 2 times 32 is 64, by the way. The giants practiced the worship of all Earth's animals like bears, the pumas, the birds. They even built enormous stone effigies of turtles and snakes, which you can find in the remote areas of the country. They painted their bodies with mica to reflect the sun's rays from their skin. This is mica. It's like glitter, and it's in makeup like eyeshadow. Jamylah held up a flake of the flaky, shiny substance. You can pass it around, so I guess they were all sparkly and beautiful. Also, if you've ever seen it, those 30-acre circles and 50-acre octagon around Newark, these giants built those. I forgot why I love watching Twitch TV so much. It might just be you. Aw, thanks. These giants built those. They also built all the mounds around Ohio and around New England. They were called the Mound Builders. They lived in the big stone chambers, houses, each with a window at the back facing the Hilda constellation. That's where they're from. Hopefully Mrs. Tibbers will plan a field trip for us to see their artworks up close, like the Serpent Mound too. Then you can all see just how amazing these giants really were. Thank you. Mrs. Tibbers stood and applauded along with the children, exulting. Jamylah, that was a wonderful presentation. How do you ever learn so much about the giants? Did you go to the library and do research? Jamylah beamed, soaking at their enthusiasm and excitement, responding, The giants told me. Slowly, quietly at first, the peals of hysterical laughter filled the classroom, echoing down the hall. Except from Kikori, Ruby, Kelvin, and Bernard, they knew Jamylah, and she wouldn't make this up. Crazy Jamylah thinks she talks to giants. Crazy Jamylah thinks she talks to giants, the mean kids shouted. What did the giants tell you today, Jamylah? Here, wear this green dress. I bet that's what they said, taunting Jamylah, stomping around the playground. They shouted, stiff-legged and lowered voices. But Jamylah, though surprised by their taunts, didn't really mind it that much. It was, after all, quite true. You don't know, you weren't there. Brendan, Ruby, Kelvin, and Kikori quickly defended Jamylah. Jamylah felt differently about the negative attention. She actually started to like it a little. During lunch, more people sat at Jamylah's table than before, and everyone wanted to see the giant replica she built up close. In all, it was a good day. You're my favorite. Aw, thanks. Yawn. Thanks. How was show and tell today, my little lovely? Constance asked as she met Jamylah out front of her Walnut Street Elementary School for the afternoon walk home. It was great! At first, I was a little nervous, but I just read my notes and started talking and I calmed down. Everyone laughed at me when I said the giants had told me, and at recess they were making fun of me too. Constance turned and kneeled before Jamylah, and as she held her cheeks and kissed her forehead, stating resolutely, "Always trust yourself," here, touching Jamylah's heart, and here, touching her forehead, "with what you know to be the truth, and everything will work out just fine." Jamylah thought for a moment. "Mommy, when we get home, may I make a YouTube video telling the whole world about giants?" Constance stood, taking a hold of Jamylah's ready little hand. "That sounds like a wonderful idea, my dear little heart." So, as soon as Jamylah had finished helping Alonso make supper, and after she'd finished her homework, Jamylah did indeed make a YouTube video, editing in all the clips from the points she had made in school. She added that she and her parents would be helping the giants restore the plundered burial mounds, and she asked if anyone in Ohio was to help if they wanted to. After she posted a video, she was tired, and it wasn't long before Mommy and... Let's get the hype going. Okay, Daddy tucked her into bed for the night. Well, a few days later, the phone rang. It was the local KOTV. Apparently, Jamylah's little video had gone viral, so now a whole lot of people wanted to talk to her about helping the giants. Ooh. Parent-teachers' night. Mrs. Tipper beamed as the Capital family entered her homeroom. We've all been so impressed with Jamylah's notoriety over the giants, she lauded. It seemed Alonso couldn't escape the topic. Stepping forward in her Nutella blossom dress, Jamylah demanded, "Hello, Mrs. Tibbers. I wanted to tell Principal Winslow so she'll announce it for everyone at the assembly." Just then, as if by magic, Principal Winslow appeared. "Well, hello, little Jamylah. I've heard a lot of great things about you lately," said Winslow. "You have? Like what?" asked Jamylah. "Oh, that you're a very good student, and that you love to read, and that you talk with the giants." Jamylah giggled. "That's true. The giants are my friends." Taking the principal's hand, Jamylah continued, "I wanted to ask for your help too, Principal Winslow. Will you help tell the rest of the students at the assembly so that they'll help me too?" Principal Winslow squeezed Jamylah's hand reassuringly as she wrapped her arm around her shoulder. "What would they be helping you with, Jamylah?" Jamylah rolled her eyes. "Restoring the plundered burial mounds." Principal Winslow smiled and laughed. "Of course, that's very important. I'll silently ask them for their help, Jamylah." Feeling both adventurous and restless with all the familiar sights of Walnut Street Elementary, Jamylah decided to go exploring. "May I go find my friends?" she asked her mom. "Sure, dear, but don't stay too long," Constance replied as Jamylah darted down the school's cavernous central hall. That must be Jamylah. There are no coincidences. When Jamylah had almost reached the far end of the hall, near the big windows overlooking the playground, she noticed a flickering light coming from a half-open door with a loud whirring sound from down below. Curious, she headed down the half-lit, creaky basement steps into what appeared to be a vast storage room. There were lots of file cabinets, old desks, rolled-up posters, and teaching materials. She saw a W and an L stacked up, probably from the old Walnut Street Elementary sign, before the tornado blew them down. Before the tornado blew them down. There were globes, lots of old science fair projects, and craft supplies. Then she noticed the source of the sound, a cascade of bright sparks like fireworks sprang from Mr. Waddlebridge's workbench where he was power sounding a big red alarm bell. Jamylah saw something else reflecting the light of the sparks from atop the workbench and stepped in closer to investigate. "Hello, I'm there, supersize. Hi there," whispered Cardant. "That's the color of the giant's skin," she announced. Perry Waddlebridge's about jumped out of his skin, hearing Jamylah's voice. "Sorry to scare you," Jamylah said, giggling despite herself. "Oh, you're fine," Percy replied. "It's just that I wasn't expecting visitors. as he put down the silent sand and reached for the cluster of violet crystals. This is called an amethyst geode. It forms crystals deep underground over thousands of years under pressure. That's what the giant's skin color is, only it's shiny too, like bubbles, Jamylah added. You know about the giants? Percy inquired, his face lit up in surprise. Well, sure I do. They visited me on my birthday. Percy handed a geode to Jamylah, stating, well, I know about them too. I have proof. Jamylah couldn't believe her ears. Really? What kind of proof? Jamylah asked as Percy produced a small claw and carefully cleaned his eyeglasses. Well, I tell you what. How about I bring the proof to your house for your family to see? It's quite a sight, I assure you. Percy looked at the big wall clock. It's 8 p.m. Your parents are no doubt wondering where you've gone to. Jamylah waved off his concern, stating, they're with my teachers. Boring, she replied. Jamylah waved off his concern, stating, they're with my teachers. Boring, she replied. Venturing into the cavernous basement, there sure is a lot of neat stuff to explore down here, she observed. Yeah. Parent-teacher meetings. Honestly, I don't know why I have to attend. I'm not a parent and I'm not a teacher. Hi. How are you? They both hearted, Jamylah. Alonso's voice echoed down the long hall. Both Percy and Jamylah bolted back up the rickety stairs. Here I am, Daddy, peeking around the door. Don't worry, I was just in the basement with Percy. Alonso looked quizzically at Mr. Waddlebridges, turning to face Jamylah. I changed my name. Okay. Well, it's nice to see you over here. Oh, one sec. Jeez. I got rid of Nation. Yeah, I know. I kind of assumed since, Firefox. The stream completes my day. Thank you, Perpetual. Well, let's see. Honey, you're not supposed to go down in there, bothering the staff. The sign says staff only. Jamylah hadn't seen the sign. It's okay, Daddy. We were just talking about the giants. Alonso rolled his eyes. Well, bye, Percy. Let's go now, Jamylah. Constance rounded the corner. You found her. Hello there, Percy. Thank you for looking after Jamylah. Percy smiled. You're certainly welcome, Constance, leaning towards Alonso, then whispering, I know it sounds crazy, Alonso, but I have something that will prove to you the giants are real. Irritated, Alonso took Jamylah's hand. That's quite all right, Mr. Waddlebridges. We're fine as we are, giant or no giant. I must say, we really don't appreciate your filling my child's head with these imaginary ideas. She's 8. This is 3rd grade. No more of this fairy tale kid stuff. Defensively, Percy sputtered. It wasn't like that. Alonso will come around, Percy. Don't pay too much attention to his posterns. Obviously, he's completely forgotten about his childhood. The treehouse, the swords, the moat, vanquishing fire, breeding dragons, etc. You're welcome to stop by our house any time to show us whatever proof it is you've got of the giants when you're free. The invitation befriended Alfonso. Percy smiled at Constance broadly. Well, I'll do just that, I assure you. They shook on it. Jamylah, honey, Constance continued, would you like to visit your dance instructor, Mrs. Sandstone? Sandstone, huh? Hello, how have you been? I'm doing great. How are you? This book is not even half done. I know, it's pretty long. Percy Waddlebridge's pays a visit. As the following Sunday, Percy drove his truck out to the Carbajal home to pay a visit as he promised he would. I just got in and yawn. Hello there, John Fancy Pants. Alonso met him at the front yard with a withering gaze. Percy smiled, confessing, I know. Only this is very important. As he reached behind the cab of his trunk and pulled out a heavy, long rifle bag. Now wait just a minute. Oh, will you relax, AI? It's not a rifle. The bag's just a ruse. Ruff. Jack only made his friendly, customary announcement back. He sensed Percy was friendly from his kind and asked energy. By now, Percy had made his way back up to the front porch. He was still holding the bag as Constance and Jamylah came to the front of the doorway. Hello, Jamylah, Constance. I brought you the proof. There's a sample of what I was telling Jamylah back on Parent-Teachers Night. Sure, but first, let's move back up patio upstairs. Constance suggested, and so they did. The father Alonso really does not seem to like the fact about his daughter believing in giants. Once there, Percy removed the canvas and let us leave as Jamylah leaned in for a closer look. Do you know what this is? Percy asked her, holding up the odd ancient relic. It's a great big bone, Jamylah said, smiling broadly. A gasp slipped from Alonso's lips. Can you guess where it came from? Percy asked. The leg? Jamylah stated. That's correct. It's a femur bone. I really wanted Alonso to see it so he could believe us both. Alfonso is crazy. Yeah. But hey, the people are saying there's giants and, Yeah, what's up, kid? What's up? Now we're here. Nice try, Percy, Alonso remarked. What kind of fool do you take me for? Constance winked at Percy. Don't answer that, Alonso continued. Clearly, what you have there is either some horse or camel's leg bone, but sadly, no human has ever been that big. Lifting the bone, Constance reasoned. Let's not be too quick to judge, honey, Alonso stammered. So, he was what, maybe 12 feet tall? Come on, we've seen enough. Stick to your day job, Paddy. Percy wasn't besmirched, he was adamant. Constance stepped in. Alfonso, you're being rude to our guest. Percy, I apologize for Alonso. He's just not convinced. He's being very difficult. Really, Alonso, I'm sure Percy wouldn't have come all this way to show you a hoax. Now, stop being so disagreeable. Just then, Jamyah's dog Jack sent her a telepathic message saying, Jamylah, I need to tell you something. I love you, and that's definitely Thomas Farmer. Jamylah knew she hadn't been able to communicate with Jack before that swimming mishap, and she liked it, saying confidently, Daddy, Jack just told me that it's really Jumper's Farmer. Alonso huffed as Percy stood up and faced him. If you don't believe me, Mr. Carbajal, then why don't you come out to the farm and see it for yourself? My kid won't understand these words. Yeah. I guess this is like somewhere for an elementary student. Maybe like a third to, third and above. Bring Jamylah and Constance too. In a week, next Sunday. With that, Percy loaded up the Fuma bone and returned to his truck, adding, You're in for a surprise. See you next week. Let's see. That night, as Jamylah slept, she experienced a vivid dream, different from her other dreams because it felt as though Tama and Latvi were really here. Oh, Jamylah, my dear, Tama spoke to her as she dreamed. Soon you'll have two mysterious visitors. Don't be alarmed, though they may appear foreboding or ominous. They can't harm you. Besides, we'll be watching over you to protect you. Even though you may not be able to see us, we'll be there in spirit. Waited for you. Hey, that roti Indian. How are you? Meanwhile, said Thomas, I want to quickly show you something. A gold light appeared at Thomas' forehead as images began transmitting into Jamyah's own. Wow, amazing, she heard herself say. They were magnificent stone chambers, elaborate homes, and beautiful amulets, clay tablets, and mysterious fingernails. About 12,000 years ago, we arrived by spaceship and began life on your wondrous planet Earth. That is our planet Zella, and the Palladius cluster was in peril. Just found out about you. Well, hello, Colky. Oh, Kelly. For we had made an antimatter conversion device that had gone haywire and was spewing radiation into the atmosphere. Ooh, that must have been bad. A toxic wave damaged all the planets, the air, the water, the fish, everything, destroying the very fabric of the universe. We had to figure out a way to clean up the mess we'd made. Meanwhile, we had to find another planet to live on until the machines had time to clean the atmosphere and return everything to normal. This would take some time. We're so grateful for your planet Earth, where the air was so clean then, nitrogen rich, and everything grew to immense size. There were great trees and all manner of birds and beasts, some of which were friendly and others were not, so we had to build raised platforms to protect ourselves from them. What a troll. As well as giant stone chambers to shield ourselves from any unwanted intruders. Some of the ruins of our work remains there on Earth still. But now you've seen what it looked like to us so very long ago. Indeed, our time was a wondrous while on your planet, Jamylah. As Timur predicted, the following afternoon, a mysterious, long, shiny black vintage sedan pulled up front. Woof! 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 Jack was now barking furiously at the sinister men who had emerged from the car. What is it, Jack? What's wrong? Constance asked Jack, now barking non-stop. Alonso went to see who it was, now already at the door. Good afternoon, Mr. Alonso Carbajal, is it? The yellow-complected, steel-eyed figure inquired. Alonso noticed their eyes were identical. Yes, it is. Who are you two? Removing his black fedora. You may call me Agent Coverup. If it makes you feel more at ease. Alonso sensed something was amiss. It certainly does not. What exactly do you want? Alonso asked, irritated by Jamylah's spreading interrogation. We are Secret Service for the Central Intelligence Agency. The bony, angular man then flashed at his identification. Yeah. They seem much nicer in the picture. This is my partner, Agent Hawkwater, and he'll be recording our session today. Alonso laughed, stating, Oh, will he? You know, Hawkwater simply stating you're with the Secret Service and you're flashing your ID doesn't make it so. Alonso whipped. A result Compeltuk was unmoved. A resolute Compeltuk was unmoved. Shall we go inside? We wouldn't want to draw attention from your neighbors. Despite his initial resistance, Alonso now found himself intellectually at ease, as though he were in some sort of mild trance. Let's see. LOL, he's mad. He sure is. Constance came to the door, sensing something suspicious. What's this all about? However, Jamylah was expecting the odd man. It's okay, Mommy, she announced. Timur told me these men were coming in my dream last night, but don't worry, Daddy, they're not real. Doing a double take, Alfonso remarked. Well, they look pretty real to me. Jamylah continued. Timur's watching this right now. They're not going to bother us for long, you'll see. Alonso thought their appearance was, however, rather odd. Their vintage wool paladins pressed so hard that they were shiny. Who irons a pedantron and wears it under a jet black suit, he wondered. Their dustless shoes were highly polished, as though they had never been worn. Their bright Coleman's mustard yellow skin was actually shiny. They looked almost like butters, with large, uncomfortably imposing eyes. Were they actually Martians disguised as detectives? He wondered to himself. Just then, Agent Coverup presented a formal document to Alonso. Here's a signed search warrant with your name at the top and Governor Keatling's signature at the bottom. It's dated yesterday. Mommy, I want that picture. What a grimace that Jamylah stating. Nope, sorry, we can't do that. Absolutely no pictures. We won't allow it. Constance with her arms akimbo belt. Oh, now come on. She's just going to take one picture. What harm could that do? Couple took her. Hope to look capitulated. Well, okay. Then wait until we say so, after we have our talk. Now listen here, Jamylah. We want to explain something very important to you. There are no giants. Alonso grinned. There have never been any giants, so stop all this talk about the giants. Do you understand what I'm telling you, Jamylah? The moment the father realizes they're here to tell Jamylah there are no giants, he grins. Let's go. Those are cute emotes. Coverup asked, his bony index finger jabbing toward her tender little face. I'll speak to my daughter, you will speak to me. Alonso snapped, leaning into the agent. Well then, if there are no giants, why are you here? Jamylah asked. Flummoxed, the agent scrambled to formulate a convincing response. Click! Jamylah took their picture. Now, Jamylah, we've specifically asked there will be no pictures, and you've disobeyed. We'll have to confiscate your phone into evidence as government property. Grinning, go ahead, Jamylah replied. I'm really good at stuff until people watch me do that stuff. Yeah, I guess that's... I've already posted it to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter anyway. As Agent Coverup snatched the phone from Jamylah, flipping the phone over, Coverup is transfixed by the image before him. A look of sheer astonishment oozed over his face. Whoa. That's, What's that? Well, we're reading this story called Jamylah and the Giants, and Jamylah got the giants on camera. Hi, Crazy Critter. How are you? How are you doing? Right now we're reading a book called Jamylah and the Giants, and she just got them on camera and posted the picture everywhere. I'm good, great to hear. With this revelation and a single knowing glance, the alarmed agents quickly vacated the Carbajal home, dashing across the lawn and right back into their large black sedan. As their car engine revved up, Alonso had an idea. Let's follow them. So, Constance, Jamylah, and Alonso and Jack jumped into their car and chased the agents. When they reached a long stretch of the highway just outside Newark, the CIA agent's shiny black sedan rose up into the air and vaporized. In shock, Alonso pulled off the highway. All were left speechless. Wow. The agents vaporized? That's going to be some big news. The dream, the library, and the picnic. That night, Jamylah dreamt of Zayla, a great colorful city on a faraway planet, far more advanced than Newark, with a great flying transport devices and enormous floating buildings. The air was clear and fragrant. She sensed how friendly everyone seemed and how clean and beautiful everything was. Calguru, where are you from, sweetie? I'm from California. So you can kind of see that in the name, so yeah. Are you interested in fashion? Yeah, I sort of am. While walking with new friends through a beautiful park, I wonder what that would be like. A familiar face approached her. It was Latvi, Tamu's friend. Tomorrow you'll find a book about ancient civilization, where you'll see this tablet, and here is what it says. As she spoke, a bright light and images from Latvi's head passed into Jamyah's. Then, just as quickly, the dream instantly faded away. The following breezy, sunny Saturday found the Carbajal family in the local Sojourner Truth Library, specifically the Ancient Anthropology section. That's where Latvi directed me to go, Jamylah assured her now more highly attentive parents. Once there, a big purple book, sticking out farther than all the others, caught Jamyah's attention. On its cover was the image of the very same monolith Latvi had shown her in her dream. There, that's it, Jamylah shouted, hugging the book to her chest. I found it! Turning to a picture of the stone tablet in the book, Jamylah ran her fingers across the hieroglyph. We are the terraped, are one with the animals, the land, the sea, beneath the stars of our distant home, Zele. That's the place where the giants live. Or lived. Taking it with you. Here for a time until we must return with the knowledge that we have gained from this world. Astounded by her effortless translation, Mom and Dad brought Jamylah over to Elizabeth Rugley, their senior librarian, to share their excitement. As Constance captured it on her phone, she asked, "Please read that again, Jamylah." So, happily, Jamylah did. How could you possibly know what that said? Asked the stunned Mrs. Rugley. I didn't until the giants showed me their home in my dreams and taught it to me with a light into my head without moving their lips. It's also the center of their sun dome, only that's made from these pieces of light. Mrs. Rugley hadn't expected quite that answer and smiled, patting Jamylah on the shoulder, stating, "Well, isn't that wonderful?" The Carbajals had worked up quite an appetite with so much excitement at the library. So they retrieved their picnic basket from the car where their dogs Jack, Molly, and Ruthie had waited patiently. Together, the five walked to their favorite lakeside park. They looked about before settling beneath the low branches of the fragrant sycamore tree, where they spread out their grandma's colorful embroidered linen tablecloth and unpacked a great big picnic. Soon they were gobbling up golden grapes and cantaloupe, savory wild mushroom pate, liberally spread upon seasoned crackers. That sounds good. Jamylah read aloud from her new book. In this 1881 Smithsonian Institute Anthropologist's field note. There is a reference to vitrified circular patterns on the surface stones near the giant structures. Constance and Alonso knew from their campfire days that stones didn't melt from the heat of wood fires, so the temperature must have been extremely hot. Constance thought out loud, melted rings of surface stones? What melts stone on the ground surface? Well, wouldn't that imply a landed UFO? A landed UFO. Oh, I see. A landed UFO is what the giants used to come onto Earth. Wow. This is all piecing together. Triumphantly catching a tossed grapes mid-air with his mouth, Alonso rolled his eyes. Don't you think that's quite a leap from melted stone rings to UFOs? Jamylah continued reading. Some of the skeletons found in the tombs were noted to have been 9 to 15 feet in length. Jamylah stood up as Constance calculated. You're 4 feet tall. So, Jamylah spoke, they would easily have been more than 3 times my size. She read on, their skulls fit easily over the head of an average man, and they were 64 feet large, healthy teeth in their enormous mouths. Wow. Oh wow, that's really beautiful. Jamylah fed torn pieces of baguette to the snow geese, mallards, and mud hens until it was all gone. Then they waddled back into the pond, cracking their appreciation as the fastidious spilled at the muddy tufts of glass. Packing up their empties, Constance asked, who wants the last piece of honey mustard tarragon, Lincoln's pasta salad, with haricot rats and poached yukon potatoes? Alonso rubbed his tummy. I do, reaching for his grandma's turquoise fiestaware bowl. In a flash, he gobbled up every last tidbit. That sounds super good. A perfect breeze overcame them with the chirping of songbirds and meadowlarks. For a while then, too, there were only dragonflies, butterflies, and ladybugs fluttering about. A visit to planet Zela. Wow. That looks very pretty. Have a nice day. You too. Well, I hope you come back for the next stream then. Watercolor painting. I know, it's really nice. Hello everyone, Jamylah greeted her YouTube followers. Well, this will sound crazy, I know, but last night I went on a trip up into outer space on a UFO. I just floated right through the wall because I was lifted out of my body, like in a sparkly way. Then right up into a waiting spacecraft. You won't believe it, I'm sure, but my giant friends Duma and Lakavi picked me up in this little 30-foot flying saucer. Then it shot up into this ginormous spaceship, like 3 stories tall. There were dozens of other friendly children on the big spaceship too. They didn't look like any children I had seen before. We zoomed off the Zela and our home planet in the Peldia constellation so fast I could see Earth shrink smaller and smaller in the distance. If you've never been on a UFO and you get the opportunity to visit that planet, you should go. You can't imagine anything like it. It was so beautiful. They have all sorts of computer-like screens, but they're only pure light, and you can see through them. That's cool. Everyone can communicate through these light devices. There are colorful lights everywhere and flowers and big waterfalls and different kinds of aliens around, and it's wonderful. Camus and Lattery showed me their elementary schools, just like mine, where you could build anything you wanted. And they said they're going to come and visit me very soon in the daytime so everyone else will see, so stay tuned for that. Whoa. I'm really liking this book. Sup Calguru, hi Wesper Dink. How are you? This is really nice. Jamylah, honey, I just watched your video and I have to tell you something, little girl. You stated you went to planet Zela. Well, I went up to your room last night and checked on you, and you were very much asleep in your little bed, Constance confirmed. Jamylah rolled her eyes just like she'd seen Alonso do. Mommy, Constance, honey, listen. I was there in my bed, of course, but I wasn't in my body. Just then, from over the radio in the kitchen broke little news bulletin. Residents of Newark were startled last night by the appearances of a large spaceship with bright lights hovering low over various neighborhoods. Witnesses said the light was a bright yellow with rainbows, and after moving silently and slowly, it stopped for a time, hovering perfectly still and silently, then sped off and finally straight up at an incredible rate of speed. There was one report of a child seen floating up to its tractor beam, but folks around here might be prone to exaggeration, as no children have been reported missing. Astonished, Constance looked at Jamylah, who smiled back at her rather confidently. More special agents? One quiet afternoon, an unmarked sedan pulled up to Jalma's house. This time, Alonso was ready for whoever they claimed to be. The doorbell rang. Ever since you started talking about giants, there's been an uptick in the number of visitors to the house, Alonso teased Jalma, opening the door. Jalma squeezed past his leg, looking up at the uniformed men. Mr. Carbajal, Jalma's father, Constance. My name is Weed, and we'd like to ask you a few questions if we may. That's an adventure. Yeah, sure is. I wonder what it would feel like. I bet it would be so cool. Why, please, officers, why don't you have a seat? Constance suggested, generously, with a drastic wave of her arm. Thank you, the puzzled first officer replied. We're with the National Security Administration. Alonso laughed out loud. Sure you are. The Carpachals folded their arms and pranced in a circle around the two agents. This is a matter of national security, so we'll just ask you a few questions if you don't mind. The officer stammered. We answered all your questions last week, Alonso half shouted. Oh, don't you remember? Jalma piped up. The agents looked surprised. Maybe they forgot to turn their recorders on. How about another picture, right, Jalma? Alonso added, staring up towards the ceiling. I'm not sure you realize what's going on here, the agent insisted. Constance took this one. Oh, we're clearer than we've ever been before. You're not gonna fool us this time. Dodging left and faking right, pointing skyward, Constance laughed. Aren't you about due for that return trip to that faraway galaxy? Just then the agent spoke into a microphone on his lapel. We're gonna need backup. They're not cooperating. Alonso stood stock still. Now listen, we told you everything we knew about giants last week. The picture tells 1,000 stories came to mind. The fast agent gave them a sidelong glance, then a knowing look at his partner. We've never been here before. Oh, come on, I mean really? Constance bellowed. Mr. Carbajal, there's no record of any other agents on this case. All was suddenly quiet until Jamylah remembered what Temu had told her. The UFOs have been here lots of times, and they're coming back soon with their biggest spaceships to give us all a message. But don't worry, everyone from Planet Selma is friendly and wouldn't hurt a flea. With that announcement, the officers left. Then, Jack the dog sent a telepathic message to Jamylah. Those were actual Secret Service agents, Jamylah, FWI. Oh, so, okay. The first time they were fake, and this time they're real. So juiced for this. I know, this is so exciting. I want to go on a space trip. Me too. I'm gonna go AFK, but I'm here. Okay. Well, glad to know that you'll still be there. Roof on the Waddle-Bridges farm. The day finally came when the Carbajal family drove down to the Waddle-Bridges farm, a sprawling 200-acre bucolic range of verdant and assorted farming activities. Percy and his partner Virgil gleefully met them at the main gate. Welcome to Waddle-Bridges farm. There was a warmer rapport between Alonso and Percy now as he shook Virgil's hand. Who's your favorite author? My favorite author? I'm not really sure I have a favorite author. Well, unless you count J.K. Rowling. I love Harry Potter. The Carbajals, with a happy barking Jack, Molly, and Rudy, followed Percy and Virgil and Percy's familiar red truck down a long winding road deep into the property past the horse stalls, the corrals, the baby goats, llamas, and alpacas. Wow, they got llamas and alpacas? Nice. Nice stream will follow. Aw, thanks. They continued beyond the Barred Rock, Plymouth Rock, Silky, Rhode Island red chickens, both hens and roosters. They passed through a huge peach orchard and walnut trees, and even over a huge pond salted with geese, mallard drakes, and hens too. There were acres of long rows of trellised green dark leaves, Concord grapes, and Thompson seedless grapevines as far as the eye could see. Down they drove over a wide river rock bridge and along the second winding road that began to be overtaken by huge trees as the ground rose higher and higher. I like potted too. I know, it is so good. Even though it doesn't really take into account many points of view, I still love it. The sunlight was held back by the mesh of tiny leaves atop the tall pecan trees, and so the road darkened considerably. Jalma's eyes were as wide as saucers. She'd never been on a real farm before, certainly not one this big. It went on for miles and miles. Finally, they turned onto a narrow switch. Back and then up on a hill to the highest point in the whole region. Whoa! You could see 360 degrees around. All of New Ohio lay spread out below them. Look there, way off in the distance, Posse pointed out. You can see the tiny American flag waving over Walnut Street Elementary School. Well, over there's a giant sapling mound, only visible in its entirety from the air. Then, as Posse and Virgil turned around, and there it was, on top of this hill before them, a giant stone dome. As they approached and looked inside, there lay a giant. He was enormous, at least 12 feet tall. There were no words to describe the amazement felt by the Coverup family, for over those massive bones of this enormous, clearly alien being lay thick woven cloth with glistening pearl beads, and over the pearl beads a copper breastplate, and over that a woven reed cord holding a carved amulet with symbols engraved upon it. Around the bones were flecks of glitter, and on the crown were bright amethyst crystals and round planets. What is he talking about? Well, it's basically these people, Posse, Virgil, and the Coverup family found a giant with all its stuff. Around the bones were flecks of glitter, and on the crown were bright amethyst crystals and round planets. Along the walls were hundreds of stone panels with hieroglyphics, writings of a lost language. It was absolutely astonishing. Wow. That looks more like a truck than a giant. Or is a giant on the truck? Oh, okay. It's giant bones. I get it. No sooner had they arrived when a strange occurrence quickly unfolded. The sky grew very dark as a humongous storm system quickly blew in. Huge lightning began to strike at the tallest trees of the surrounding forest. A cold rain and hail suddenly blew in, pelting them, as the trees didn't provide much cover. Then, in the near distance, the roaring sound of powerful approaching motors came closer as huge white trucks quickly began streaming into the isolated mountain-top area. This is trippy right now. I know. It's sort of hard to read. There were big men getting out of the trucks in white jumpsuits, close-fitting baseball caps, and mirror glasses. None of them spoke a word, but all seemed to know exactly what to do. Posse tried to stop them, but that was impossible. Then a great big bulldozer rolled off the back of a huge flatbed truck and began scooping up the giant stone. All of it, his copper crown, the copper chest plate, on all the stone tablets with the mysterious hieroglyphics on them. Each scoop was slowly lowered onto a wood stake truck. It was heartbreaking. Jamylah stepped toward the bulldozer to take a closer look, but there was nothing she or anyone could do to stop them from ripping the sleeping giant up from his time capsule. That is really sad. Once the FBI had gone the had gone, their little group stood there, teary-eyed, speechless and helpless. Percy turned to his distraught family. Well, at least now you know that Jamylah has been telling the truth. With tears streaming down his cheeks, he pulled the cap from his head and wiped his sweaty brow. In fact, look here. Percy pulled a file folder from behind his truck's driver's seat, looking down the road to make sure they'd all gone. Here's a copy of an abduction report dated September 1848 and signed by Congressman Abraham Lincoln. Whoa! So glad you're streaming. I'm so glad I'm streaming too. And I'm really glad I'm doing a read aloud because, well, it's much more fun. Constance and Alonso hugged each other in reassurance as Jamylah asked a question. Well, why would the government take the bones away? Percy carefully returned the document to its yellow file folder. That is a very good question, Jamylah, said Percy, adding. In fact, I think that's why they've come to you, for you to get that very question answered. Alonso spoke up. It's because these giants, their existence, doesn't fit in with the conventional story of evolution, of man evolving from ape or any primate. I think they're just covering up what doesn't fit. Constance unfolded her arms and leaned in. Seeing as they have double rows of teeth and we don't, that proves they're not our ancestors. Percy responded, so they have to be from another planet altogether. Alonso burst out laughing as he pivoted. Oh yeah, right. They just what? Flew on what? Spaceships? Jamylah smiled. That's what Mo told me. When he sent the light messages into my brain, he said he'll come back and show us. But by now the sky had cleared as the colorful dragonflies and butterflies resumed their agenda, and the sun passed through the remaining thunderheads in the great crepuscular rays to form a spectacular double rainbow. Do you believe in the monkey theory? You mean how humans formed from apes? God must be alien. I believe God created aliens. Thank you, Constance and Alonso. I appreciate you making time to come in today. I know this must have required some rescheduling of your commitments, so thank you both. Principal Winslow conveyed. This is in response to Jamylah's now viral YouTube video on the Giants. I wanted to speak to you directly because this is important. And well, you know how electronic communication can get. I would like you, Jamylah, with your parents to be my guest at the governor's ball in September so that you can tell Governor Keatling about what you're going to do to restore the Giants' heritage. I'm sure he would love to know more about it. Wow, the response letter. Wow. The Smithsonian Institute on baseless accusations of concealing giants. To Mr. Alonso and Mrs. Constance and Jamylah Carpajal, recently we have been pestered by a number of false claims that the Venerable Smithsonian Institute has been involved in 158-year cover-up. Whoa, feels bad, man. concerning the discovery of giant skeletons during the mid-19th century. This claim is without basis and completely false. One might consider it as also patently absurd. This is a formal request that you cease and desist of all giant burial restoration, proclamation, and advocacy. We have forwarded a copy of this letter to our legal team and asked that they, in the event of these baseless accusations should continue, that they be terminated within 24 hours of the receipt of this letter, or we shall take civil action at the attempted libel of our good name and institutional record. The estimated... I cannot believe this. The estimated potential cost of damages is approximately $12 million. Further, we ask that your YouTube video be removed and never shown again, as this only instigates more misconception about the origins of the human race and that of our evolutionary history. Really, a child is free to imagine what they will, but parents have a duty to keep their child's behavior within the bounds of simple, common decency. The Smithsonian Institute believes this letter should be accredited to efficiently neutralize and terminate any discussion on the topic. Most sincerely, that stuff. Wow. Good to see you guys in the chat. Good to see you too. Let's run it up. Okay. And we're almost there. Really, ordinarily, I too would be inclined to dismiss childish reports of giants and the venerable Smithsonian complicity in a cover-up. Were it not for several well-documented accounts among many in your annual reports, through the guidance of Tammuz copper-crowned spirit communicating with Jamylah, we were able to locate the following information. Smithsonian's 5th Annual Report, 1887. Let's go. A representative of Smithsonian Institution is here investigating the relics, working with the American antiquarian in the Etowah Mound, Carter's Village, Georgia, where H.R. Hazelton unearthed a copper-crowned 9 feet 2 inches skeleton, surrounded by stones with deeply carved inscriptions. Among the bones at the site were thigh bones for 14-foot-tall human, and the restaurant and distinguishing characteristics throughout New England, from New York to Indiana, was that these skeletons had double rows of teeth. Captain Newton H. Chittenden put in best. I have no doubt that ages ago giants roamed around this country. The recipient of the massive skull of a giant is noted in the Smithsonian Annual Report 1911. I hope this clears up any misunderstanding. Sincerely, the Carvajal family, Alonso, Constance, Jamylah, and our dogs Jack, Molly, and Ruby. Wow, GG. This is a really good book. And I love how they include the dogs in the letter. Hello YouTubers, I have a special announcement. On the last day of August, the Calguru giants will arrive from planet Zella via a large spaceship and quite a few smaller flying saucers for a special visit around 3 p.m. But don't be alarmed, they're quite friendly. They're going to land in a small We're going to land a smaller spaceship next to the Walnut Tree Elementary School. Please come out to see all the excitement, as this is something that doesn't happen every day. Just like Jamylah's previous videos, this one quickly went viral. It was even tweeted by the President of the United States. Wow! However, the National Security Administration has also been monitoring Jamylah's videos, and we're anticipating the UFO arrival. The NSA alerted the military, the Air Force, and even Naval Command. They were ready and eager to battle the aliens if necessary. They made very clear to Jamylah and her family. So as scheduled, on the very last day of August, the Calguru UFOs arrived, with Tamu and Latvi stepping out in full earthly regalia. Whoa! Yep. That is not something you see every day. Sup? Nothing much, but we're just about to finish this book. Only a few pages left. The Latvi shouldn't have come, Jamylah shouted. They know. The entire military knows, and they're going to attack you. They all have weapons. To Jamylah and Kelvin's surprise, Tamu and Latvi smiled broadly as the military trucks closed in and the helicopters and fighter jets setting their scopes and laser-targeted missiles on the massive spaceship and flying saucers. The air was thick with tension. However, as the Air Force and military pulled on the trigger with their machine guns and Hellfire missiles, absolutely nothing happened. In fact, radio communication went down between their land and sky communication, and all the billion-dollar electronic and Bluetooth, infrared and dedicated channels were completely silent. Everything stops working, and the giants know that everything's gonna stop working. Not one of these weapons would fire. The entire fleet of the military, Air Force, and naval firepower was rendered powerless. Oh my god. On the first day back to school, Jamylah hadn't anticipated what was about to happen next. On the first day of school, as she stepped out of her house, a mob of reporters and camera operators had assembled themselves in the front yard, driveway, and street. There were numerous TV vans with their hydraulic antennas raised. Just then, Candace's phone rang. Yes, this is Constance Carpenter. I knew that wasn't right. Constance's phone rang. Yes, this is Constance Carpenter. Who is this? A formal, friendly voice responded. Mrs. Carpenter, please pass your phone to Jamylah and stand by to speak with the President of the United States. Half stunned, Constance leaned over to Jamylah as the press moved in. It is for you, Jamylah. It's the President of the United States. Jamylah smiled. She had lots to ask of the President and was glad she had called. Hello, Jamylah Carpenter. This is Madam President Vandercleet. How are you doing today? It's the first day back to school, is it not? Jamylah giggled. Hello, Madam President Vandercleet. Yes, it is, and we can't be late. Vandercleet laughed. I'm sure they might make an exception for you today, right? Her response broadcast nationally. Yes, you're right, Mrs. President. I understand you needed my help with the giants you've been talking to. I'm at your service, she confirmed. Wow, the President even wants to help. Oh, sweet. Thanks. Oh wow, I cannot believe this is... She got a call with the president. Thank you, President Vanderklee. I really appreciate that you called me. Basically, somewhere in Washington, probably under Smithsonian, is a humongous warehouse full of the remains of Tammuz civilization. Listening intently, Vanderklee responded, I see. And what would you like me to do about that? Jamylah continued, will you and the National Guard please gather up what's found and return it to the giant's burial site? You wouldn't want your burial site disturbed, right? So returning the sacred artifacts to their rightful home is just the right thing to do. This twitch app is slow. Well, it's got a lag between the chat and me, so... I would be happy to contact the Smithsonian and ask about these giants. If there's anything to be returned, I will see that that's done. How's that? Jamylah felt relieved. Yes, that's wonderful. I appreciate your help. The president added, I've really enjoyed talking with you, Jamylah. If there's nothing more, we'll get on to your first day of school, and my assistant Abigail will be in contact with any updates. A grateful Jamylah replied, all right, that will be just fine. Thank you, President Vanderklee. Whoa. She must have felt really proud of herself for spreading the word to help the giants and being able to, get contact with one of the most important people in the United States. Letter from the White House. One day, about a month after her call from the president, an official letter arrived. It had the U.S. Government Office of the President seal on it, to the attention of Jamylah Lewis Carbajal. Dear Miss Jamylah, much to our surprise, a considerable amount of registered artifacts and documents were recovered from several warehouses and have been readied for your re-enterment. The collection is so vast and astounding that we have arranged for you and your family to come in person and visit the facilities before they disappeared. If we could prepare a short speech to present those presents, that would be great. We hope you'll be able to adjust your busy schedule accordingly. We look forward to having you here at the appointed time. Now that is really something special. I feel so jealous right now. She's 8 years old and she's already made history in the book. And all of it happened because of, almost suffocating. Okay, maybe that part's not so good, but wow. Within a week of receiving the letter, Jamylah and her parents, with some security officials, were assembled outside the Smithsonian Central Warehouse. Slowly, as the massive hangar doors were rolled back, their eyes widened in astonishment. Never in the history of the world had anyone seen such a massive archaeological collection assembled in one place. Hi. How are you? Mr. Carbine. Hope you're having a nice day. Let's see. The rarefied air was electrified with anticipation at their long-awaited return to their rightful homeland. There were massive giants as far as the eye could see and beyond. The shortest ones were over 8 feet tall, and the tallest some 18 feet in height. Most were upright glass boxes pinned up here and there with wired supports as if somehow animated. Their dignified though ladder garments still splashes of shiny mica at their feet. Bushels of opalescent pearls, copper swords, breastplates, crowns, and stacks of countless elaborate inscribed stone tablets. Jamylah heard the spirits around her, laughing at just how silly they must have all looked, propped up like characters in a traveling amusement show. Yeah, they must have laughed. They probably did laugh a lot. When the exploration of the warehouse ended, Jamylah was escorted to a long hall with white columns outside the steps of Smithsonian's main visitor hall. We know this was a lot to take in, Jamylah, but we thought you might have undoubtedly had a few words on your impression here today, and to share what you've written, Abigail said as he guided Jamylah to the podium. This is so cool. Art is not just home to us humans alone. Art has forever been and will forever be home to countless other extraterrestrials from throughout the entire known universe. They are forced to live as I speak to you now in even more remote regions of the world, the oceans, the great caverns deep within the earth itself. So art must be protected and nurtured in order to continue its purpose to be a home for all, countless humanoid aliens, as you and I have lived on Earth for eons, in one lifetime or another, to learn the lessons only a life on Earth can teach. Together, we must work to preserve the earth and oceans for all future generations of every living being, plants, and animals. We must all become art ambassadors, telling the world's leaders that art is not their toy to break. See that they end all pollution and weapons of war, for art itself is far too precious to ever be taken for granted. You must teach others to preserve art now and forever before the environmental damage is too great and art ends up as barren as the moon. As a surprise, Tamu arrived by UFO and greeted Jamylah. The entire crowd was completely shocked, to say the least. Do you see, Jamylah? Do you see what you have accomplished by believing in us and never giving up? You have realized a great resolution to a long-awaited and much overdue recollection, a return of that which never should have been disturbed. Now it can once again return to a peaceful and harmonious solitude. Jamylah was overjoyed with a sense of accomplishment. We knew you would overcome all the many challenges and obstacles that stood in your way. You envisioned a resolution which permitted a solution to arrive. Tamu then withdrew a copper plate etched with complex script and read aloud its inscription. On this tablet is explained that the entire planet, Earth, and its atmosphere is one ecosystem, and that it cannot be disturbed by an economic disruption or great peril and eventual catastrophe that will consume the entire planet. I'm giving this to you, Jamylah, in honor of all that you have done for us. What's a good place to buy a computer like the one you stream on? Well, the best place to buy a computer like the one that I use is Let's see. Okay, so I got this at Best Buy, so you can find some over there. What is your favorite song currently? My favorite song currently? I'm not sure. Maybe... Actually, I have no idea. There are too many to choose from. Let's see. Ooh. There's one more thing. We never told you what these words are written on my pendant. Tamu removes his necklace with the big pale stone disc and slips it over Jamyah's head and around her neck. The coveted pendant sparkles in the setting sunlight. Jamylah smiles broadly, still beaming with happiness. They read, "The wearer of this pendant is the keeper of the planet Earth. We're going to return now to our home planet Zella, but we know you won't forget us, Jamylah, as we won't ever forget you. Remember, we're always only ever just a thought away. Think of us and we will receive your thoughts and think of you and think in return of you." Wow. Oh wow, all the trucks are having... all the trucks have Jamylah and Calguru on them. Reinterment. Giants reinterment. Hello there, my pastry lemon suck. How are you today? I have just finished this book. And let's see this. The journey home. Soon huge trucks crisscrossed the New England's highways, emblazoned over tangerine sunburst, and larger than life was Jamylah's smiling face. Giants reinterment for all the traffic and people of the little towns and big cities to see. Everyone knew that each truck held the skeletons of the ancient alien giants. Entire schools would hold special field trips to watch the reassembly of dolmens and massive earthen mounds rebuilt, just as the vintage Simpson and archaeologist field notes illustrated. The students stood reverently, seeing the giants re-entered at or near their original burial sites. Songs were sung as huge plaques were installed, detailing the Teletubbies' life and ancient alien culture, identifying for all to see. The women and men found together with the mounds of pearls, the engraved marbles, the mica-covered bones, shiny and as stones pottery, the 9-foot swords, the axes, the inscribed copper tablets and swords, and even copper antlers. The children buried alongside their mothers and soldiers. And all the people of the mounds would be reunited again to spend restored peaceful time together. That night, Jamylah went to the bed, feeling satisfied that she had fulfilled her promise to help the giants restore their former earthly civilization for posterity. She dreamt she was back in New York 12,000 years earlier. Tamu and Latvi were there too, and joyfully announced that Jamylah was the honorary guest at the giants' annual moon dance. Wow, do you like jets? Sure do. All dogs are identical in anatomy with 321 bones and 42 permanent teeth. Cat bites are more likely to become infected than dog bites. Hello. There before a bonfire, beneath a sky full of stars, flying saucers, and a very full moon, Jamylah and her friends danced and danced until their hearts were content. And in the morning when she woke up, she found their rainbow mica powder on her skin. The end. Wow, that was a really good book. I'm guessing these are all like pictures, author's notes and stuff. Yep, acknowledgements. Wow. That was a really good book. Wow, that was a really good book. And I'm really hoping to read more books like that. The watercolor illustrations, even though they weren't like perfect, they still look so good. A little funky, but that's what made them better. So I'm going to keep that in mind for my art. I love how it was about like giants, putting children's imagination in the book. And for that, it didn't make it seem that long for me. You're back. Hello there toward the end. I really like this book. And I feel like the message of it is that if you believe, you can accomplish anything. My favorite part was when Jamylah achieved her goal of helping the giants. And I give the book a rating, a 10 out of 10.